Subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon. Among the weary faces of Noorabad, there lived a young boy named Imran. Only 14, yet his heart carried more courage than many men twice his age. Imran's home was a small mud house at the edge of the village, shared with his grandmother, Amina. Grandmother's soft voice, "Imran, come inside, the night is cold." Imran cheerful, "Just one more moment, Dottie. I like watching the stars. They remind me of stories you told me when I was little." His grandmother smiled sadly. The stars were the only light this boy had ever known at night. The village had no electricity, the old oil lamps had long dried out. One evening, as Imran sat by the dying embers of their fire, his grandmother told him a tale that had been whispered for generations. Once, Noorabad was not in darkness. At the heart of the village stood the lantern of hope, a magical lamp that glowed with the warmth of every good deed done here. But one day, greed entered the hearts of men, and the lantern went dark. They say it still exists, hidden deep in the mountains, waiting for someone pure of heart to light it again. Imran's eyes widened. "Dottie, what if I found it?" She chuckled. "Child, many have tried. None have returned." But Imran could not sleep that night. Somewhere in his young heart, a spark had been lit. Part 2, The Journey Begins. Background, morning birds, light breeze. At sunrise, Imran packed a small bag, a piece of bread, a flask of water, and his grandmother's old scarf. Grandmother worried, "Where are you going?" Imran softly, "To bring back the light, Dottie. For you, for everyone." She tried to stop him, but he was already walking away. Imran's journey led him through dense forests where shadows moved like living creatures, across rivers where the cold water bit at his skin, over hills that seemed to whisper secrets to the wind. On the third day, he met an old woodcutter by the forest. "Woodcutter, boy, where are you headed alone?" "Imran, to find the lantern of hope." The man studied him for a moment. "Many who seek it do not return. The path will test you." But here he handed Imran a small wooden carving of a bird. "When you feel lost, hold this. It will remind you of the sky above." Part 3, Trials of the Heart. Background, thunder rumbling, rain falling. One night, a storm struck. Imran found shelter under a rocky ledge, but his bread was soaked, his water spilled. Cold and hungry, he almost turned back. "What am I doing? I'm just a boy," he whispered to himself. But then, he felt the wooden bird in his pocket, and remembered the faces of the villagers, his grandmother's fading smile. He pushed forward. Days later, he reached the foot of the mountains. Here, an old woman was sitting by a small fire. "Old woman, if you wish to pass, you must give me something of value." Imran hesitated. He had nothing, except the wooden bird. It was his only gift, his only treasure from the journey. Slowly, he placed it in her hands. She looked at him, eyes shining. The lantern's light can only be reached by those who give without expecting to receive. "You may pass." Part 4, The Lantern of Hope. Background, soft chimes, faint echo of wind. After climbing for hours, Imran finally saw it. An ancient lantern, standing alone in a cave, covered in dust, its glass cracked, yet it seemed to hum faintly, as if it still breathed. But there was one last trial. A voice echoed in the cave, "To light the lantern, you must give it the purest thing you possess." Imran thought, what was the purest thing he had? Then he understood. It was his own life. His youth, his energy, his heart beat the only light he truly carried. He took the lantern in his hands, closed his eyes, and whispered, "For my village, for Dottie, let there be light." A warm glow exploded from the lantern, spreading through the cave, racing down the mountains, flooding Norabad with golden light for the first time in decades. Part 5, The Legacy. The villagers awoke to a miracle. Streets lit up, laughter returned, and the dark corners of Norabad were gone. But Imran never returned. His grandmother, though heartbroken, would sit under the stars and whisper, "My boy, you became the light." Thanks for watching the video.